Hey friends, and welcome to this video all about my goals for 2022. If you watched my annual review video of 2021, you'll know that one of the books that had the biggest impact on me last year was Atomic Habits by James Clear. In this book, he talks about having systems rather than goals. So you might be thinking, well, Luce, if a book had a big impact on you that talks about systems over goals, why are you doing a goals video? Why have you set goals for 2022? So before we get started with what my goals are for the year, let me just explain. So for me, goals are more like a compass. So I want to have, a compass towards the kind of person and life that I want to live and person I want to be. But, so I need systems to head towards those goals. In a way, a system isn't a system without a goal. Even if it's just, the system might be I want to be able to walk into my room every day and it feel tidy. One of those, that's a goal. And then the system will be things like making your bed every day. So systems and goals to me go hand in hand. A goal on its own isn't worth a lot because a lot of the time it means that you're postponing happiness and enjoyment until you've reached that goal and got that dopamine hit. But there's still value to be had from having a goal that acts like a compass and then using that to help you put systems in place to make your life easier or better and work towards that person you want to be. And so that's why I've got goals. So in this video, I want to go through what those goals are, but also the milestones and challenges so you can understand what it is I'm trying to achieve for these goals and what kind of systems we're going to put in place to achieve those goals, or kind of what systems will organically come out of having these goals. So goal number one is to write a book. If you saw my last video, you will know that I signed a contract last year with A-Press to write a book all about MongoDB Atlas and .NET. And the aim at the moment, the deadline from A-Press, is to have all chapter drafts submitted by the 1st September 2022. So I've got this goal of writing a book, and I've got a deadline, but I'm going to need to have systems in place to help me write the book, because hope and writing sporadically will not help me achieve that. So, one of the systems I'm going to try and put in place is experimenting with when to write, whether it's an hour a day or I block out some time one day a week to work on it. That'll be a system. I don't know which one will work better for me yet, but, we can experiment over the next few weeks and see how we go. So that's the goal, create a book. And it'll be great to have some content out there on two topics that I'm passionate about. And, to have that kind of, see my name on something. That's going to be awesome. But, along the way, I'm going to have to set some milestones, because one of the important parts of goal setting and just general life management, really, to help be more productive and efficient people, is reviews, whether that's weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly, or even annually. You'll have a look at a different level of granularity, depending on the frequency of that review. But it's important to have those reviews. And, the reviews don't hold any value unless you have something to look at and sort of evaluate your progress. And a goal can be a little bit too, it'll be specific and, was it smart, specific, measurable, attainable, something, and time-based. And I'm not specifically going for SMART goals, but even so, you need to be able to measure them. But goals can be a little bit too far away. Like writing a book, there's a lot to achieve to write a book. You can't just go from zero to book. So I've set some milestones along the way. Some of them Some of them are. Yeah, I can't speak today. Some of them are deadlines set by A-Press themselves, and some of them are sort of more granular, self-imposed. So milestone number one is to have the first chapter draft in. A-Press sent me a scheduled deadline for this of the 17th of January 2022. So I have a hard deadline to work against. But, in terms of how I achieve that from contract signing to submission date is down to me. So one of the things I can do with this system is have a regular review of, okay, am I achieving the target of having this chapter draft written? And then after that, it will be chapter 2 draft and chapter 3 draft. And then it might be, spread it out a little bit more and get a bit more relaxed and trusting in the system and go, okay, have I got half the book written now? And things like that. So I can review these milestones and go, okay, what in my system is working? Do I feel like I'm comfortably reaching these milestones, or am I panicking and going, this isn't working, the deadline is next week and I need to suddenly sit down and concentrate? Because, don't know about you, but a lot of the time I find it a lot easier to concentrate when I'm running out of time. Lastminute.com. But I don't want to live like that with my book. I want a chance to be ahead of schedule so I can take a break if I get sick. I want a chance to get my colleague at work to proofread anything that I write before it gets submitted, because yes, it will go through review from A-Press themselves, but I still want to reach a certain level of quality standard, especially around grammar, before it gets seen by anybody at A-Press. So I still need to allow time in my schedule for someone to review it, because it's not something I can control, someone else's time. It shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be controlling someone else's time. But you still need to give them a fair amount of time to review and proofread these articles rather than going, you've got a day, crack on. So that's goal number 1. I want to write a book and I've got milestones. In terms of challenges, obviously the obvious ones will be getting sick and not being able to write, or just struggling to focus. I often find I can concentrate a lot better when I'm running out of time, but that is not something that I want to kind of experience when I'm writing something as important as a whole technical book. So, motivation, focus, and sort of my ADHD symptoms, along with getting ill, are the 2 main blockers. So now it's time for goal 2. Goal 2 for me is to create YouTube content every week. Now, this might seem quite ambitious when I'm also writing a book, but my hope is that by setting a goal of producing content once a week, I will be able to put systems in place that help me regularly create content. If I can get into momentum of regularly producing content, the video content will be slightly different each week, so there'll be that variety to not get monotonous, but I'll still have to follow the same systems and pipeline to generate the content. So, it might be I have an idea for a video, then I do some research into the video, because it might be that I want to share quotes from books, or I want to double check what I'm saying, or I want more information to share. There'll be the research stage. Then I might script it if I want to just have an idea of what I want to say, then record it, then edit it, then publish it. And each stage can take, anything from a couple of hours to, quite honestly, over a day. It all depends. But you need those systems in place that you can track, okay, I'm here with these videos. And interestingly, one of the techniques for productivity I've learned about in the past year is something called batching. So rather than going linearly and almost sort of through the waterfall software development life cycle of, okay, I work on one video at a time. I have the idea, I research it, I script it, I film it, I edit it, I publish it. It might be that I sit down one day and if I've got multiple ideas in the backlog, I sit down one day and I get to a stage where I can film all of them together. So I don't worry about editing or anything like that. I just sit down one day and record maybe the footage for 3 videos. B-roll and all that stuff comes later, but I just batch that process together. Then it might be that I sit down over a day or so and edit as many videos as I can in that time. So you want to have a good system in place so that no matter whether you're batching or working linearly through each stage of one video, you've got something that you can work on, where you are. And, there'll be times when I'll learn things from it that I can move to other things. So, no matter what it is that I'm doing, I might know that, batching works really well for me, or, I'm terrible with batching because my mind prefers to focus on one thing at a time. And I think about that one thing in the back of my head when I'm trying to do something else. And so the quality drops. So actually I find, I'm better at doing one video at a time. But by having that system in place, I'll know that if I'm better at focusing on one thing at a time, I can take that forward into other things I try and do, whether that's, creating written content or something not to do with creativity whatsoever. But of course, there's going to be milestones for that. So the first milestone will be the month of January. Can I produce a video of sufficient quality every week in the month of January? One of the tips that I've heard about making YouTube videos, and it applies to anything, is quantity over quality. Now, that doesn't mean that you just record some hapdash video and throw it out there with no care at all. It just means rather than being a perfectionist, be happy with enough. You'll learn more by producing lots and lots of videos of a, slightly lower than perfection than you will from one perfect video. So if I can try and do content every week where I sort of don't worry so much about everything being perfect, because again, as well, perfect is subjective. You can create a video that you think needs to have this really high production value with overlays and icons and sound effects and music and all sorts of snazzy things. But actually your viewers care more about the content. So for me, I want to try and get into the motion of creating a video every week, and I'll double check, right, okay, in the month of January, have I produced videos every week? Cool. Depending on how much of a slog it is, I might then decide, okay, I'll carry on with this monthly cycle of checking in at the end of February. Am I still doing it every month? What have I learned from it that's gone well? What's not gone well? What can I improve to keep up this cycle? And then I might move to less frequently. So it might be, okay, halfway through the year, so the end of June, I do a, biannual review where I have a look at how all my goals are going, but also videos. Am I still keeping up with weekly content? So, you get milestones that you can track along the way. And, milestones that you can also do reviews against. And in terms of challenges, again, I think it'll be similar to goal 1, concentration. Am I able to concentrate for long enough to produce all the content in a timely manner? Of course, I have a day job as a developer advocate at MongoDB, so I have responsibility there in terms of my day job and public speaking and other commitments. There's writing my book. There's obviously, social life, seeing friends and family, doing things away from the screen. You can't spend all your life working constantly from start to finish. So, one of the biggest challenges will just be, can I get some momentum going that I can speed up the process? Because editing videos can take ages. Like the 2021 video, I think took me about 2 days to create because I had to script and record, and I did batch recording with a script rather than so I'd kind of record a bit, stop, check if it was okay, do a few takes, move on to the next bit. So that took a while. Then bringing it all together in video editing and making sure I got the right versions took a while. And then once I got into editing, there was, the B-roll footage, like the handwriting, and then the learning some techniques and bringing the images in and creating the screens. All those things take a while, but the more I do it, the quicker I'll get. So, one of the biggest challenges will be time, and if I can get fast enough at this video editing to get content out to you weekly that's of sufficient quality without being perfectionist or too poor. Just get the balance. So that's goal 2. I'm hoping to bring you videos every week in 2022. And if you've got any ideas for content that you'd like to see, comment down below. I'm open to suggestions of anything that you've thought of that you'd be interested in, whether it's around ADHD, productivity, tech things, there's no set theme for this channel. We're going to try and follow a sort of a vague theme, especially for one type of thing we're going to do, which I'm going to come on to in a moment for goal 3. But yeah, I'm open to suggestions of what you want to learn about, because I've always been known as a bit of an open book. Any part of my life or things that you think I can help you with, that you want to know more about, we'll can see. So that's goal 2. On to goal 3. So goal 3 is to follow a challenge every month in 2022. So in December of 2021, I signed up to a charity challenge I saw on Facebook as an advert, which was to do 2,022 press-ups in the month of January. The idea is that people can sponsor you to do the challenge, so you can try and raise some money, as much money as possible. And the specific charity it's for is Alzheimer's, or Alzheimer's Society, which is close to my heart because my granddad had Alzheimer's. And so, and at the moment, we're sticking to it. You can do any kind of press up you want. It doesn't have to be full press ups. It can be incline press ups, wall press ups, knee press ups, whatever. Whatever works for you, because not everyone can do 2,022 full press ups in a month. I can't. But so far, we're at over, I think it's 700 or 800 press ups this month. It's been going pretty well. I mix up what type I do to make my life easier, but hopefully by the end of it, I will be able to, tick off that I've done over 2,000 specifically over 2022, press-ups of some kind in the month of January. And as I said, I've been sticking to it. I took one break one day, but I've been doing them every day since. And it's made me realise that I can stick to things if I want to. So what I want to do is take 1 week each month where I'll make a video where I share with you a challenge I'm doing that month. Now, I'm not going to spoil too much about what I've got in mind for each of the months. You'll just have to tune in and see. But one of the ones I will reveal is February, which is going to be freezing February. If you follow me on Twitter, you will know that for the first week and a bit of the year, after I got back from Christmas, just before New Year, I've had no heating or hot water because my boiler broke. Thankfully, it's, fixed now, and I've got hot water and heating again. But it meant that if I wanted to shower at home, I'd have to shower in the cold. Now, I stuck a thermometer in the water. It was 10 degrees Celsius, so pretty cold. But I was doing some research about cold showers and the impact of them, and it turns out that cold showers can be quite good for ADHD symptoms, because one of the things I want to do is theme these challenges each month around something that might help manage my ADHD symptoms. So I'll do it for the space of that month. I'll report back, I'll sort of vlog along the way in the month of how it's gone. I'll bring it all together in one video where I'll then show you how the month has gone, what I learned, how it was. If it's something that worked really well for me, I'll carry it on. If it's something that didn't work well for me, I'll stop it after that month. But the point is that every day for a month, I will do something. So the first thing we're trying is cold showers. Now, cold showers is anything below 32 degrees Celsius. So even though my boiler's now working, I can still set it to be cold. I can just make it a little warmer than 10 degrees Celsius, but colder than 32, so it still counts as a cold shower. So that is February, freezing February. Every day in February, I will try and do a different challenge. Each month, I will set a goal of what I want to achieve with it. So, for example, with freezing February, it might be that I want to, in the end, been able to, take a shower for 5 minutes in the cold. I don't know how achievable that is, but we just need something to measure against. So we can say, okay, I did this every day. Did I achieve that or not? How did it make me feel in terms of my ADHD? Did I feel like I could get out of the cold shower and get dressed and start my day and be super focused and get a load done, which doesn't happen right now. It's hit and miss. So that is goal 3. I'm going to try and do different challenges. If you are interested in knowing what some of the other month's challenges are, drop a comment down below, and if enough people show an interest in wanting to know what the challenges are, I will go ahead and I will, either in a dedicated video or another video, I will take time to just mention what the challenges will be for each month. I've got most of them sorted out, I think, or at least a theme for each month, but there are some months later in the year where I'm not so sure. But for now, we've got going. So that's all my goals for the year. I didn't want to set more than 3 goals because I think that's, they're quite big ones enough. The challenges will be interesting, but they'll take quite a lot of time to vlog along the way. Writing the book, of course, will take quite a while each week to work on the book, and creating YouTube videos will be quite a lot of work. So, they're the main 3 goals, and then what I'm hoping to get out of it by the end of it is systems that help me concentrate, help me produce content regularly, and show myself that I can produce content regularly. And hopefully, as a bonus to that, I'll be providing content, whether it's the book or the YouTube videos, providing content and entertainment that you find inspiring or helpful. And you never know, may help you in your journey for a more meaningful and enjoyable life. So I will see you next time. Bye, friends.